welcome back to the program Parenting Teens with Love. Today is lesson 5 of the series of my presentations for the teens parents so that they can learn how to do parenting in a proper way and prevent their problems for the long term. So I have already done a lot of videos and I have reached now lesson 5. So if you want to go and see the earlier lessons before going on with this, please go ahead and on the YouTube, my channel is there, Parenting Teens with Love. Today my lesson is lesson 5, Parent-Teen Relationship. I think it's a very important topic and we must understand how to go about it. What is relationship? Relationship is the communication bridge between people. As you can see, in between the communication and there is a gap, but that gap has to be bridged. So that is what makes a relationship. How does it matter? How do relationships matter to us? So, in a child, the relationships, every relationship contributes towards the personality of the child. The quality of relationships during childhood determines the future relationships in the life of an individual. You must be knowing that if our relationships in childhood have been good, and in adulthood also we will be good friend maker and we will have good friendship around. Relationship with parents in early childhood, it determines the relationship with other people in their life, like grandparents, siblings, friends, teachers, relatives, etc. So, what matters exactly? We are going to discuss this in details. This is just a summary of what matters. There are 6 things which matter when we talk of a parent and teen relationship, how it develops, how it evolves. So, number one is relationship during childhood and adolescence called parent child bonding, which I will discuss in details later. The second number is relationship between parents called marriage. It has to be very steady with trust, respect, and love for each other. Number three, what matters for making good relationship between parent and teen is consistency in parenting practices, which is a united effort by the parents. Number four, which affects your relationship with the teen, is the pattern of relationship of the child with the parent. Number five is your parenting style, which I have already talked in my last lesson number 4. Number 6 is relationship of free bonding, giving respect and freedom to each other. So now let us discuss each point one by one so that parents can understand that what affects their relationship with their teenager. Number one is parent-child bonding. Now, children they grow up with their parents, and parents are the only role models for binding with other people. So they see how the parent reacts to other people, how they behave with other people, how the parents they take their relationships, how in times of problems, how they take the relationship, the help of the relatives or the help of other people or friends, whom do they go to, how they talk to others. For example, talking to a grocery person, talking to a shopkeeper, that is very important part of forming relationships. Some people will become friends with the shopkeepers within few seconds. Some people they just go and buy and come back, no relationship at all with the no bonding formed with the dukan person. So how they deal with the problems in relationships, that is also very important. And a child keeps noticing that if suppose the relationship between some relatives and the parents, they are stressed, how the parent takes care of that relative, how the stress, the problem is solved, all that is noticed by the child. Then how parents respect a friend or a relative or a stranger, each of them matter. So how the suppose how he deals with the stranger when you come across a new person in your life, how a child watches when a parent is talking to a stranger, whether he trusts the stranger suddenly or whether the parent takes time to develop a trustworthy relationship with the stranger. All that is learned by the child gradually. So all these points which I have discussed just now, they affect the parent-child bonding as well as the learning about relationships. This is so now you can see that the relationship development starts from the childhood itself. You know, it starts from the early childhood itself. So you have to be very careful if you really want that your teen should have a good relationship with you. Second number, as I've already discussed, is marriage relationship of parents. A happy married life of parents gives the child a bedrock of trust and friendship. So, if there is a couple who is happily married, they are trusting each other, they are not doubting each other, and there is a good amount of friendship between the husband and wife, then that is the foundation for building relationships for this child. He sees from childhood itself how the parents, the marriage is going on. It's very important. The three essentials of marriage, which are trust, respect, and love, if they exist in a marriage or in a parental marriage, and a child sees that the trust and respect and love is there in my parents, between the parents, this forms the foundation of a parent and teen relationship. Next comes consistency in parenting practices. Now, you see, sometimes I've seen the parents, when they take decisions about their children, they are always almost arguing in front of the children. It creates a lot of confusion. I would suggest that parents need to know that child sees them only as one unit. So, first they should concur outside the purview of the child. That means inside their bedroom, they should first concur what are they going to take the decision, discuss amongst themselves first, and then come out. And all rules, instructions, and decisions taken for the child need to be the same from this one parent unit. That is very important. The parent unit should be one, not that one parent is pulling the child to this side, the other is pulling the child to the other side. This creates a lot of confusion, and even the relationship is affected. A child or adolescent loves the mother and the father equally. You must have seen in the families, mother will be saying, "Oh, he is like me. He deals with these things like me, and he's not like father. I like it." And the father is very happy if the child does something or the teen does something just like how the father has done, and he appreciates it. But he says, "Don't do like father, mother." This is like creating a kind of a divide in the family. But I must tell all the parents that please consider this, that your child or adolescent loves you, mother or father, equally. You do not have to think that if the child is like me more, then he will love me more. It's not like that. There is no competition between parents to pamper the child and adolescent. That is also very important. Sometimes when the child is looking more like a mother or the child is behaving more like a father feels very happy, and he starts pampering this child. Oh, this child is like me, he will come out as an adult like me, and he's so happy and feels so rewarded that he starts treating this child in a very special way. I think that is wrong. You have to understand that this child will get both from you as well as from both mother and father equal qualities, or maybe sometimes a little more from here, a little more from there, but they are going to be the mirror image of both the parents. So remember this, and please do not create any competition that I have to teach my child what I do the best. Yes, you have to teach the best, but don't stop mother or the other parent to teach something, right? So there should be no competition between the parents to pamper the child. Next comes the pattern of relationship with the parents. This is a very important kind of attachment which we can see even from the early childhood. So I wanted to tell you all the four patterns. You can from the childhood predict how this child is going to behave in the adolescence, how the parent-teen relationship may turn out in the adolescent period or in adult period. Number one, when the adolescent leaves the parents and explores the outside world, and when he returns, parents pick them up with love. They would stay with the parents for some time and they would go back to enjoy the world or to do their studies, So this is a secure attachment, and the child keeps coming back to the parents whenever required, or in fact, they make special provisions to come back to the parents because they feel that the parents are available to receive him or her anytime with happiness, which is a very, very secure type of attachment. Second, some teens they keep staying away from the parents and they do not want to come back as they do not feel the warmth and love when they come back. A classical example which I will give you is when parents leave the child for a while and when they return, the child looks at them for a while and then moves away from the parents. But why they are moving away is because the person who actually takes care of the child is different. For example, it may be a maid, it may be a granny, it may be a relative, and so the child is feeling more secure with those people rather than the parents. So when the parent comes back home, yes, the child is happy for a little time, but then moves away and goes to the person who actually takes care. This is insecure attachment. The third pattern is anxiety driven. Now, this is a very common thing. You must have seen that some parents they say, "My child doesn't allow me to go to bathroom. My child doesn't allow me to even take a bath, and he wants to be with me all the time." This child is actually anticipating separation from parents and seeks constant attention so that parents cannot go away. The parent cannot visit bathroom and all, as I told you. And this happens in families where parents they try to hide about their whereabouts. For example, when a mother is working, she just disappears without telling bye or anything, informing the child that I am going and I'm going to come back. No, they don't inform. They just feel, actually the parent feels that it may hurt the child, or the child may get upset, the child may cry, so they just disappear. But actually this is a very anxiety driven pattern of relationship, and later also the child becomes very insecure, the child becomes anxious, he doesn't know when the parent will disappear and whether the parent is going to come back. So this kind of pattern has to be discouraged. Next comes the pathological attachment. There is no attachment at all, as these are abusive parents. They generate only fear and anger in the child. They are afraid of rejection. Now, when a child has been physically abused, or even all the time, if not physically abused, if the parents are all the time, verbally abusing this child, all the time telling, criticizing the child for all the things that the child is doing, it becomes a kind of, anxiety, a kind of rejection for the child. And the child anticipates this kind of rejection anytime. So there is an anticipation of abandonment also, and the child is very, very, very insecure. They are very anxious, and this is called pathological attachment. So parents, please try to understand your child from the beginning. Try to have the pattern of secure relationship. Accept the child as they are, and when they come back to you from studies or some other work or something else, when they are away from you and they come back to you, please, take them with open hands and let them go out to work also with open hands. They should know that they are secure, and this position or this house of their parents is a paradise to come back to. That is very important. The fifth type of thing which affects the parent and teen bond is parenting style. I have already talked in details about the four types of parenting styles in my lesson number 4 video, which you can all have a look at if you really want to understand it. In short, I will just say dominating parents are the ones which want the children to do as they want exactly. There is no flexibility. The unengaged parenting, the child brings himself up, so there is no involvement of the parents. Permissive parenting is that they are so much of pampering type of parents, and they keep giving some things to them. There are no rules and regulations in the house, so that is the kind of parenting there which happens. And positive parenting is the one where actual the parent teen relationship really is very positive one also. So please go back to my lesson number 4 if you really want to know details. This is a very important aspect to develop a good parent and teen relationship. The last but not the least, the relationship of free bonding. For example, we have to give them respect and freedom. Not only that we expect that they should respect us and we are free to tell them anything, but also the teen should also be respected, and they should be told that yes, you're free to do whatever you feel. Yeah, of course, by guidelines. Give them roots to grow and wings to fly. This is what we should follow in our life. So once we have given them the values of our house, we have given them the culture, we have taught them everything, then let them fly. Let them fly freely. They may make mistakes, but they will learn from that. So please remember this. Give them roots to grow and wings to fly. Never judge them. Whatever they are doing, sometimes they do make blunders, they make mistakes, but don't judge them. Yeah. So you have to be there for them always, whether they are good or bad, but you be there. Yeah. Have trust in your child more than in others. For example, I have seen parents when a neighbor comes and tells, "Oh, your child has beaten my daughter. Your child is very bad." And the mother of this child, who has not seen anything, believes the neighbor and starts scolding her own child. That's not the way to do things. You have to have trust in your child. You have to let your child put his own side also. I'm not saying that he has not done a mistake. It may be right also, but he may be also wanting to say that the fight was started by the other child. So you have to know the sides of both your child and the other before making any judgment. Yeah. So please have trust in your children more than others. First talk to them and then take a decision what is to be done. Thank you. And I'm just giving a very simple example just to make you remember that all the relationships of all kinds are like sand in your hand. If held loosely with an open hand, the sand stays where it is. You'll be able to hold it. The minute you squeeze your hand, the sand trickles away. So, what does it say? It only means that relationships are beautiful things. If they are brought up with freedom, respect, and love, you can hold them tight. But if you want to only suppress by applying your parental rights, then the relationships just go away. Thank you so much for a patient hearing. I hope many parents are learning from these lessons, and please, you can download these lessons from the YouTube, and you can also keep seeing them again and again whenever you want. Please continue your patronage. Subscribe to my this program, Parenting Teens with Love. It is free for all parents who want to learn parenting before doing mistakes, so that we can prevent any problems between parents and teens. This is my endeavor to do that, and please like it. If you really like it, please do push the button of like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.